Hi, I'm Valerie, and I talk too much. Welcome to my channel. I'm not sure if this is your first time here or if you've been here before. I don't even know what brought you here, but I sure am glad you came. Today, I want to talk about when I quit smoking in hopes that it might help you quit smoking or quit some other bad habit. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then pull up a chair and let's talk. So I quit smoking on June 1st, 2021, just this past 3 months ago. I'm filming this on September 1st, so just 3 months ago I quit smoking. 3 months ago today. And actually, it's my birthday. I'm 52 today. So, woohoo, happy birthday to me. So, I quit smoking on June 1st. I used Chantix. Now, some people, I will go ahead and say, I'm aware, some people have really bad side effects from Chantix. Some people have really vivid nightmares. Some people have mood swings, the kind that change their whole personality. Now, I was blessed that I didn't have any of that. I had some very, very vivid dreams. Sorry about that. Remember, there's no editing. Valerie doesn't know how to do all that. So, what you see is what you get. Bloopers and all. I had some very vivid dreams that were strange, like that joined my childhood life with my current life, and that was kind of weird stuff. Like, I grew up in a different state and joined things that happened there and with things that are here, and just weird stuff like that. So, anyway, that kind of stuff happened. But that was it. Just vivid dreams. But none of them were nightmares. Um, but Chantix really helped me. And the way I used Chantix was I got my prescription May the 8th. I began taking it then. And for 3 weeks, I started cutting back on my cigarettes because I was smoking a lot, a pack and a half, maybe even more some days. So I started cutting way back, cutting back, every day, cutting back a little bit more until I was barely smoking at all. And on the 31st of May, I smoked my last cigarette. May has 31 days. Yes. 31st, I smoked my last cigarette. During that time, as I was cutting back, I was also replacing the habit times that you smoke with new habits. And what I mean by the habit times you smoke is like right after you eat, right when you wake up in the morning, right before you go to bed at night, or in the vehicle, or anything like that. When it's a definite time that you smoke after a certain event or before a certain event or anything like that. If you don't smoke in your vehicle, maybe you smoke as soon as you get out of your vehicle. If you smoke, if you have certain break times at work, things like that. So you have to replace that habit with a new habit. If you sit in a certain place to smoke outside your house, like I had a certain place I smoked sitting on my porch, because I didn't smoke in my house. I don't smoke anywhere now, but I didn't smoke in my house, but I had a certain seat that I sat in on my porch and I smoked there. So I started smoking somewhere else so I could still have my seat on my porch and it wouldn't remind me of smoking. So anyway, but I started replacing those habits with new habits and stretching it out. For example, let me explain that a little bit better. And I'm going to talk with my hands because that's what I do. And you'll see more and more and more of that because it's just me. And that's just what I do. So anyway, in the morning when I would wake up, I would smoke, go outside and smoke a cigarette. So I started stretching that time out and finding other things to do with my morning and making the time out, making it 15 minutes until I smoked a cigarette. 20 minutes till I smoked a cigarette, 30 minutes till I smoked a cigarette, 45 minutes, an hour, just stretching that time out and replacing that habit with better habits. Until eventually what I did was every morning I would get up, first thing I would do was brush my teeth so that the taste in my mouth was that of fresh breath and nice minty breath. And I would sit down and do my gratitude journal. So it would get my mind in a place of gratitude. Things that I'm grateful for, things good in my life, positive things in my life, things like that. Then a lot of times, because I'm also, and I'm gonna get into that in other video, get into this in other videos. Again, remember, no editing. But I am in a bariatric program. So whereas I didn't used to have a good schedule for eating lunch or breakfast, I had to start on a good routine schedule for eating breakfast. So now I do my gratitude journal, eat my breakfast, things like that. I'm replacing that habit. Brush my teeth, do my gratitude journal, so on and so forth. You get the picture. Then, same thing at dinner time. Replace that habit. You have to do that. You have to find a new habit, a better habit to replace that old habit. The other thing, so I took the Chantix for 3 weeks, cutting back. Then I took it for about 7 weeks. I took it for the whole month of June, and then a little bit more than 2 weeks in July. And when it came time for my refill, Chantix had done a voluntary recall for a certain lot number, and so the pharmacy that I use didn't have any, and so I couldn't get it filled. Therefore, I didn't have any, and there was no sense in waiting for the pharmacy to get any. If I could do it without taking the Chantix any longer, then there was no sense in taking the Chantix. So I quit taking the Chantix, and I was fine. But it truly helped get me through that hard first 6 weeks. And it helped me to cut back at first. I really don't think I could have done it and been as successful, because I really don't have bad cravings. I really don't. I get cravings, but they're not terrible. I use sugar-free wintergreen lifesavers to help me when I do get a craving. They helped me when I got them while I was quitting as well, while I was still using the Chantix, because I did get them. You still get them. My worst time is when I'm in the vehicle. I get them when traffic's really bad. That tends to be my worst time to get a craving. So I keep them in my purse. That seems to help me. Keeping busy is another thing that really, really helped me. Prior to quitting smoking, I had some stuff that happened in my life. I went through some pretty dark depression, which we're going to talk about in another video. I've said before, we're going to talk about mental health stuff, my depression and my anxiety. But because of this episode with my depression, where I went to a really dark place, things got pretty out of control in my house, and it was very cluttered. And one of the places that was very cluttered was my closet. And so I decided that I would clean my closet, because if I got my closet cleaned out like it should be, it was nowhere near where it should be. Then it would make cleaning other rooms in the house easier because there would be a place for some of the clothes and stuff to go. And also it gave me a place to be alone when I needed to be alone, when I was irritable and things like that. So, boy, when I tell you I cleaned out my closet, well, it needed it. But when I tell you I cleaned out my closet, I cleaned out my closet. And it helped keep me busy. It also gave me time to be alone. And it really turned out well. And I mean, I made labels. I laminated those labels. I went a little over the top. But it turned out beautifully, and now my closet is done. And I'm very happy with it. So, and that kept me very busy, and now we're moving on to other areas in our house and doing little projects. So, but it will help you if you just keep yourself busy. Very, very busy. Like I said, for me, sugar-free, you need to have something that'll help you when you do have those cravings. For me, it was sugar-free Lifesavers, the wintergreen ones. Some people say the cinnamon discs, something that will help change the flavor in your mouth because you're having a taste for cigarettes. A lot of people say the cinnamon discs or the Fireball candies. Just something that will completely change the taste in your mouth. Cinnamon mouthwash or Listerine mouthwash. Some people say orange juice, but you can't always drink orange juice. But you can usually pop a piece of candy in your mouth. So the other important thing is to have a support system. Now let's talk about this support system, because what's important in your support system is that you don't have a support system that is going to let you give in. You don't want someone who's going to be like, oh, it's okay if you smoke a cigarette. You've had a rough day. Go ahead and have one. No. You don't want that. You're going to be like, oh, okay. Well, so-and-so said it was okay. No. You want someone who's going to say, no, I know you've had a rough day, and I'm so sorry you had a rough day, and we can talk about that. But you don't need a cigarette. Why don't you try a piece of that candy that you've been using? Or why don't you try munching on a carrot stick? Or whatever it is you're using to help you get through the cravings. Or let's talk. Let's, talk about why you had a rough day. But a cigarette's not the option here. And sometimes you're going to miss them really bad because they've been a big part of your life. If you're like me, your cigarettes have been a big part of your life. Big, big, big part of your life. They've taken up a lot of your time. They've been a huge part of your life. And taking up a lot of your time. When you quit, you're going to find that you have all this time on your hands. When I quit, I called my friend who was a non-smoker and said, what do you do when you take a break? I don't know how to take a break and not smoke. That's what you do when you take a break. You go smoke. What do you do when you're a non-smoker? So, but you need a support system. Someone who, and so I cried. There were times I cried I wanted a cigarette so bad. I would call my friends, I would call my cousin and be like, I just want a cigarette. And I would cry. And they would say, it's okay to cry, but it's not okay to smoke a cigarette. So you're gonna have to get over it. So, and that's the kind of support system you need. It's okay to cry about it. I'm sorry you want a cigarette that bad, but you can't have one. You don't need someone who's going to say, well, go ahead and have one then. You need someone who's going to show a little tough love. A little bit of tough love. Compassion, but not that they're not going to enable you and say, go ahead and have one. So, but remember that you can do it, because you can. And, you know, you have to want to do it. And this goes for any bad habit. I also recently quit drinking any carbonated beverage. And let me tell you, my blood type used to be Diet Mountain Dew positive, okay? That's all I drank. I drank some water, but mostly Diet Mountain Dew. And I had to give those up because part of this bariatric thing is you have to give up carbonated beverages. And I figured I might as well go ahead and do that now while I'm on a roll. So I gave those up. I actually miss those more than I miss cigarettes. You just have to, my son will tell me in a heartbeat, Mom, I'll say, I just want, today's my birthday, like I said. And I was like, I could have just one. And he was like, yeah, you could. I'll be very disappointed. Because he knew right then I'd be like, no, I won't. He's hard. He's a great support system for me. He does not mind showing some tough love at all. But, you just gotta find those people in your life who don't mind telling you like it is. Just the truth, the cold, hard truth. And, it just is what it is. And it's got to matter to you. It's got to matter to you. It's got to be what you want. Because, if I really wanted one, it wouldn't matter if it disappointed him or not. But I knew I didn't want to disappoint him. And I knew, bigger than that, I didn't want to disappoint me. And I knew if it was going to disappoint him, then really, it was going to disappoint me. So, I didn't drink a Diet Mountain Dew for my birthday. I had my diet green tea instead. So, basically, what you need is to have a plan. For me, my plan was Chantix and wintergreen, sugar-free Lifesavers, and a support system. That was my plan. You got to keep busy. You've got to keep busy. And for you, keeping busy might be something totally different than what keeping busy was for me. And you're gonna, let me throw this in here, you're gonna get irritable. And irritable is okay. Mean is not okay. Irritable is okay. Mean is not okay. So 1 was have a plan. 2 was keep busy. 3 is have a support system. And remember, a support system, not a group of enablers, but a support system. People who are going to build you up and not let you back down to where you are, which is using nicotine or whatever you're trying to quit and get out of your life. And 4th is to develop new habits to replace your old habit. That's what worked for me. Let me add, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional at anything. This is just what worked for me. And if it sounds like something that might work for you, then great. Try it. As a matter of fact, if you've quit smoking or you've quit a bad habit like that, then put down in the comments under this video, right under the video, in the comment section, put how you quit and what worked for you. And it might help somebody else who's trying to quit. So put it down there. And if you need help quitting, put down there that you're struggling to quit. And maybe someone has some ideas that'll help you specifically with what you're struggling to quit. So, and also don't forget to like, that's the little thumbs up, and to subscribe, and all those YouTube things, the little bell, all of it. Just do it all. Do it all. And I really would appreciate it. So, and just remember, guys, right now everything's going crazy in this world. So this is a big world we live in, and we can be and do anything. So you can do anything you want to do in this big world. So be kind. That's what you can do. Be kind. Be kind to one another. Okay? And remember that I love you. Bye.